I was really in my head about how much I was consuming. It's definitely been a rough week in terms of mentality around fueling. I'm bringing a gel and I'm taking it no matter what happens. I can't be going out and running 9 miles, 10 miles, 16 miles without eating something. Good morning, it's long run Saturday. I'm just about to make some oatmeal and coffee, but I don't know if I'll actually finish the coffee. We're just gonna see, but this is gonna be my pre-run fuel, and then for the run, I'm gonna bring my Spy Belt water bottle. I'm gonna bring one of those goos and sodium electrolyte tablets, maybe some energy gels. I might just bring like a plethora of things and see what I end up taking. I always take the sodium salt sticks, especially when it's really humid out, but I have yet to actually have a full gel on a long run, and today feels like a good day to do it because we're probably gonna end up at like 12 or 13 miles, so I'm thinking about taking it about an hour into the run. But I'm just gonna make some basic oatmeal right now. I feel really dumb explaining how to make oatmeal, but I literally just use a regular original Quaker oatmeal packet, put it in the microwave, get some cinnamon on there, microwave some blueberries, and pour those on top. A little extra cinnamon for good measure, and that's literally it. And my coffee is Chamberlain cold brew coffee with a vanilla creamer. Super basic. Okay, I'm just about to head out. I have my Spy Belt water bottle on here, and then I have the back pocket filled with a goo, the electrolyte salt sticks, and energy gels. And I already know I'm gonna have to fill this up because I'm like already thirsty and it hasn't even started, but I will update you on the run or afterwards. We're not gonna talk about the actual dead plant behind me, but we are gonna talk about how I just finished my longest run ever. 16 miles, I'm a disgusting mess. I'm gonna go shower in a second, but I just wanted to like document this moment. I literally started tearing up at the end because I just like could not believe that I ran that far, and also couldn't believe how good I felt. I had salt sticks, I had a full pack of those energy chews from Scratch Labs, and then I tried having a goo and my stomach was like, I don't think so. So we're gonna try the goos again next week, but I feel really good. I need to keep hydrating and I need to keep eating. And I had this thought when I finished, and I was like, there's no way a few years ago I could have run 16 miles because I simply was not nourishing my body in the way that it needed to be nourished. And it's just like incredible to be able to have that freedom of like, I am fueling my body so that I can do these incredible things. And it just helped my mindset a little bit because it's definitely been a rough week in terms of mentality around fueling and nutrition and just like body image, and being a girl is difficult. So I just feel really good, and I just had this thought and I was like, yeah, I did that, and I did that because I'm giving my body what it needs. So on that note, I'm gonna go shower. Maybe I'll take this dead plant in the trash and get on with the rest of my day, which is probably compression boots and nothing else. Hello there. It's been a minute since I've turned this camera on, and I am now back in New York after 2 weeks of being gone. I was in Orlando, and then I went on a cruise with my family, and I kind of took the 2 weeks to take a break from YouTube and filming this kind of content just because I didn't really know what I was going to be able to film, but I was posting a lot on TikTok and Instagram. But I am now back, and I have some thoughts, some things, because the original intent of this video specifically was supposed to be about nutrition and fueling and practicing that on my long runs and figuring out what I was going to use during the marathon. And that has come with a variety of thoughts and complications that I didn't really expect to come up during training, mostly around past disordered habits and things coming up that I just was kind of like, I don't want to think about that. And I'm in a much better place now, especially after vacation. I think vacation and getting away from your routine and where you are can really help put things into perspective. Specifically around fueling, I just posted a TikTok video about how strong I was feeling on all of my runs in Orlando and on the cruise. And I really did attribute it to my nutrition, because on vacation, I never got to feel hungry, because every single time I felt hungry, there was free food right in front of me, and it wasn't always the healthiest. And I know there's a lot of conversation around good and bad foods. I don't label it, but I know some people do, and that's a conversation that is happening a lot of the times, especially on social media. But you know, it was carbs, it was fat, it was all the sugary things that I love to eat, and I was just fully enjoying myself, and I honestly didn't really think twice about it. And it wasn't until the end of the vacation that I realized I didn't struggle on any of my runs because I felt like run down. I was struggling because of the heat or some other outside factor, but my body felt incredible, felt so strong because I was fueling it properly. And I realized that I don't undereat while I'm at home by any sense of the word, but I basically just eat until I'm full. But I think I need to eat a little bit past that to be able to stay strong and healthy and recover properly, because I do feel like I eat enough at home. But then I was on vacation and I was like, whoa, I feel so much better. And I was obviously eating more than I would at home just because it was so accessible to me and it was all in front of me and it was free and it was buffet and it was on the cruise. So that was a really good mindset shift for me, because I was really in my head about how much I was consuming. And that was mostly due to comments, and they were not ill-intentioned comments, whether it was from family or friends or just people on the internet. Like, oh my gosh, they would say something like, you're eating all of that, or good thing you run because you gotta burn that off. And like, just those comments that sent me into a really dark place a few years ago have started to resurface, because when you're training, you have to eat to fuel, and it's not a bad thing. And even if you're not training for something, you still have to eat, and you should never have to apologize or explain yourself for how much you're eating. And whatever is on your plate is on your plate. And that's a rule that I live by. I never, ever, ever comment on what somebody else is eating or what is on their plate. I have a saying called mind your own plate. I found it on some account a few years ago, and I've lived by it ever since, because if I look at somebody else's plate, and I might have a thought in my head about it, but I'm never going to say it out loud, because you have no idea what that person is thinking or going through at that time, especially women in this society. And I don't want to get too deep here, but just the intent of this video was supposed to be about nutrition. And I found myself not wanting to film about it because I was having some weird thoughts that were surfacing up, specifically around fueling while I was running. Like, even with gels, I had this old habit of, during my races previously or training previously, I thought I didn't need gels or hydration along my runs because I felt fine. But just because you can run 10 miles without fuel doesn't mean that you should, and it's really not good for your body. And so I think I was having those disordered previous thoughts of like, oh, I don't need a gel, like I'll be fine. I could have a Rice Krispie treat instead, or I could just have water, or maybe some like sodium tablets. But it's like, no, this is a whole marathon. That's 26.2 miles that your body is running, and training is so hard. I'm running 40 to 45 miles a week right now. I can't be going out and running 9 miles, 10 miles, 16 miles without eating something. And it's just those old thoughts that were coming up for me. So I was hesitant to film anything because I got all these gels in the mail and I was ready to like film about it. And I ended up having half of one on a long run the other day, and it actually made me feel sick. So like, that's besides the point. I'm still testing that out. But I just didn't want to come off as inauthentic because I'm having these thoughts in my head about what I'm consuming and eating, and I'm constantly thinking about it. And it was just a really confusing period for me, but I'm coming back from vacation with a much better perspective on the matter, and I'm just feeling really excited to actually figure out what works for me and my fueling. So that's my plan this weekend. We've got a long run on Saturday, so I'm gonna figure that out. And those are my brain dump thoughts at the moment around fueling and eating. And it's just crazy how much of your brain capacity that can take up when you've had struggles in the past. So all that being said, I'm hoping to be back with this video and continue figuring out what works for my training, but I am feeling so strong. Like, I truly feel like I'm doing all the right things. I'm stretching, I'm recovering, I'm sleeping, I'm eating, I'm training right, and I'm listening to my body, and that's the most important thing. So I've never felt stronger actually training for anything. So I'm really excited. It's about, I think we're like 70 some days out from the marathon, so stay tuned. We've got a lot more coming down the pipeline. Was the night before a long run, and I'm gonna go get some ice cream because my friend Hannah has this rule where she eats ice cream every single night, or every single Friday night before a Saturday long run. And I just feel like that's so me. Like, that is really me to a T. So last week I did have ice cream, but it was just a pint at home, and it just did not hit the way that I wanted it to. And so I think I'm gonna walk to Haagen-Dazs. It's a beautiful evening. So I'm gonna take a little stroll over there and get a big old ice cream sundae. And honestly, this is a good test for my stomach because I can see myself like wanting to have ice cream the night before the marathon. And we're gonna see how I hold up because I think I have like 12 or 14 miles tomorrow. So I guess we're testing the gut for long runs. I've made it back. This is exactly what I wanted. It is a midnight cookies and cream Dazzler sundae from Haagen-Dazs. And if you've been following me for a while, you know my favorite ice cream in the world is from Handel's. And nothing really compares, but Haagen-Dazs is definitely up there for me. It's just very consistent. It's not overpriced, and they give you a really good amount. So I will say they're up there for me. I've tried a lot of spots in New York, and this one is really close to me, so it just works out perfectly. But I'm gonna eat this and then try to get to bed without the sugar rush. We'll see how I sleep, and then I'll check in the morning. Happy Saturday. We've got another long run on deck. I actually slept a lot better than I thought. I did have a bit of a sugar rush with the ice cream, but I still managed to fall asleep. I think I was just like that tired. But I am making my go-to pre-run breakfast, some oatmeal and coffee. And I'm excited. I think today's gonna be a good one. The weather is perfection for a run. I think that's why my runs this week have been going so well. It's just like, it's cooling off, it's not as humid, and we've got pretty much anywhere from like 12 to 16 today I would be thrilled by. And I've already got 2 16s under my belt, so I feel good about where I'm at. And today we are not skipping fueling. I'm bringing a gel and I'm taking it no matter what happens. Even if I gag and spit it out and it's disgusting, we're trying it because I'm sick of being like, oh, I feel fine, so I'm just gonna not take anything or a sodium tablet. It's like, no, I need legitimate food and fuel. So I'm bringing a UCAN gel with me today, and my friend Kate actually uses UCAN, which is how I found out about it in the first place, and they look really good. So I'm gonna bring some options and just see what I want to take, and I'm gonna take it about halfway into the run. And I'm excited. I think it's gonna be good. I think it's probably gonna be a game changer, and I'm probably gonna be like, why did I wait this long? But that's what this process is all about. We're learning.
I'm almost 16 miles into this run. I took the gel at mile 8. I got about halfway through with it before it kind of grossed me out, but I'll take it. It honestly made me feel great, no stomach problems, and gave me some good energy, and I'm gonna probably finish at 17.
This lighting is not great. I am officially back from the long run. I ended up doing 18 freaking miles. I'm definitely in the pain cave a little bit, but I feel strong. And the first thing I said was that I know I could have gone longer had I continued to fuel and hydrate. And it just gave me so much confidence going into the race. And I just feel so amazing. And I know right now, post-run, fueling is also really important. So I've had a whole water. I'm drinking this Propel, which has extra electrolytes, and I'm about to have lunch with tons of protein, carbs, and fat because the post-run recovery is super important. And I'm gonna see how I feel tomorrow because that kind of like gives me a gauge on how I went and how I fueled. So I'm learning a lot. I was talking to people on the long run today about how they've fueled in the past and just getting so many good like ideas and just helpful. Like this community is so helpful, especially with the endorphins crew and even being part of the marathon project. Everybody has an opinion, obviously, and has what works for them. So just figuring out what works for you is the most important. So none of what I say might work for you. I don't know. If you hate the UCAN gels, you hate the UCAN gels. But a gel of a different brand might work for you. So I think it's all about testing, trial and error, but I did really like the UCAN gel and I want to try Honey Stinger. Literally every single person I talked to talked about Honey Stinger. I want to try the waffles. So I have some more fuel to order, but right now it's all about hydration, protein, eating, and recovering because the legs are feeling it. Honestly, this might be gross, but I don't even know if I'm gonna shower before I eat lunch because I'm really hungry and I just want to eat something and I'm not in the mood to jump in the shower right now. So we might just be eating lunch like this. So yeah, I did not change and I'm eating lunch. I'm having one of my favorite go-to high protein post-workout meals. It is this bagel from Eat Better Bagels. You've probably seen them online. This is not sponsored, but they did send me theirs to try, just like, hey, try this and let us know if you like it. And I love them. And now that I buy them at Whole Foods, but it has healthy fat, high protein. And then I put Greek yogurt on there and blueberries and cinnamon. And then I also have like an extra bowl of Greek yogurt with blueberries and things. And that's just gonna be my post-workout meal. And then I'm gonna keep snacking, get all of the food and nutrition in. And I think I'm gonna end this video here. We're still learning about nutrition and there's so much more to come. And I'm gonna keep updating you guys on this series about what works for me and what doesn't. And I'm super excited. It's been a freaking journey to get here. But if you are struggling at all with nutrition, fueling, disordered eating, whatever it may be, we're all in this together and we're gonna get through it. And just remember, you need the fuel to be able to run. I just ran 18 freaking miles and I could not have done that without food. And with that, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and I will see you very soon.